Hello and welcome to Yoga with Charlie. I am Charlie. This class is focusing on stretches for the splits. So let's get into it when you're ready. We'll start in a forward fold. Legs together, feet flexed. And then focusing on lengthening your torso before you fold. So you create space. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen, and then as you exhale, fold forwards. And we're trying to keep the upper back straight as we're folding, so the fold is happening from the hinge at the hips. And if you have, say, like a strap or a tie, you can place it around the backs of the feet and use this to have something to hold on to so that you can keep your spine long and focus on folding from the hinge at the hips. Keep the feet flexed so the muscles in the legs are switching on. And staying here for 5 to 10 breaths. Just beginning to awaken the hamstrings. Okay, wonderful. Slowly come back up. Spin the legs round, come to tabletop. And bring your right leg forwards in a lunge position. Bring the knee on top of the ankle. And then the hands can just come down by your side if you feel balanced, or on your front thigh if you need a little bit more stability. Start by squeezing your glutes. And as soon as you do this, there's so much more activation in the lower body. And what we're looking to do is work with flexibility and strength in equal measure. So we're not just sinking into the joints and forcing flexibility, but we're being really mindful of contracting the muscles so that we're stabilizing our joints as we work into more flexibility. So press the front heel down into the mat and the back knee. So the lower body is very active. Draw the low belly in and tuck in the tailbone so we're not arching the low back to sink deeper here. There's a lot of mindfulness in this posture. Holding this for 5 to 10 breaths, just really beginning to warm up the lower body. Okay, and then the next part to this, lower the hands and edge the back leg further down the mat. So now we're beginning to open up into the left psoas. Maintaining the same engagement in the legs. We're just opening up the left side hip extensors. Staying for 5 to 10 breaths. Okay, and then lower the hands, shift your hips back. So the hips should come on top of the back knee, and extend your front leg forward so you can extend the front leg completely. Flex your foot. This is key here to switching on the muscles in the right leg. And just keeping the torso long initially. Keep the foot flexed. You may even spread the toes wide for a little bit more activity. Squeezing the glutes so the legs are really working here as well. Staying for 5 to 10 breaths, just regulating your breath. So equal inhales and exhales. Okay. And then slowly fold forwards. Again, the fold is happening from the hinge at the hips. So the upper chest, upper back stays quite straight, stays up. And the fold happens at the crease at the hips. So think about belly to thigh. And then slowly work progressively deeper into the folds. 5 to 10 breaths. And if at any point this gets too much for your knee, find a micro bend. So you're just softening the knee joint a little bit. There's not quite so much extension going on for the leg. Wonderful. Okay, bend the front knee. Bring the foot out to the right side of the mat. Keep the knee on top of the ankle. And then lift the back knee, tuck the back toes, finding lizard lunge. Start by switching on your glutes so you're really activating the legs. And then shift forwards and backwards. Use your back foot to drive this movement. So you just rock forwards on the tiptoes, back towards the ball of the foot. Keep coming forwards and backwards. Generating a little bit of heat as you do this. And then as you settle into stillness, you can either keep the back knee lifted or lower down. Focus on keeping your glutes very active, so you're working strength and flexibility. And then over time, you may walk the hands further forwards, you may lower down onto the forearms, whatever is accessible right now. Go to your very furthest edge. So you're always working your end range, and then this is how you can really build flexibility, working progressively. So each time you're just taking it a little bit further. Holding for 5 to 10 breaths. Okay, and then come up back onto the hands. Bring the right foot towards the middle of the mat. Keep the knee bent for now, but tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. So the back leg is extended. And then slowly extend the front leg. Keep both legs extended here. And flex your front foot so you're just up on the heel. Squeeze inner thighs together. Keep the hips square. And then you can either stay up on the fingertips so the chest is parallel to the ground, or you may work towards a fold over time, going deeper to work progressively. Thinking about bringing your lower belly towards the upper thigh, and the upper back stays long here. Wonderful. Breathing deeply, staying for 5 to 10 breaths. Okay, bend into the front knee, lower the back knee. Edge the front foot forwards, just like the previous pose, flexing the foot. Use your fingertips to support you. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. And from here, you're already in a split position. So it may be that you're simply just holding this, staying here, keeping the hips square. And then over time, as you work progressively, start to edge the back foot further down the mat. And it may even be that you feel like you want to take the hands away, but you just need some support. In which case, place something soft like a towel or yoga block underneath the back of the right thigh, front of the left thigh. Keep your front foot flexed. And then over time, work towards edging the front foot forwards, edging the back foot further down the mat. And as you come into your full split or close enough there, focus on keeping the hips square. So slightly drawing the right hip back and the left hip forwards. Breathing deeply so you're providing your muscles with fresh oxygen. Wonderful. And then when you're ready to come out, press your fingertips into the mat, bend the back leg, bend the front leg, find your way back to lunge. And then repeat exactly the same on the previous side. So start by bringing the left leg forwards, finding your lunge position. So the knee is on top of the ankle. Squeezing your glutes, really activating the lower body. Holding for 5 to 10 breaths. Press down through the front foot and the back knee. Tailbone is tucked, low belly is in. So there's a lot going on, but once you get used to it, it becomes automatic. Like these things will just switch on and you'll think, oh, I didn't even know I was doing that. Okay, lower the hands and edge the back knee further down the mat. So beginning to come into right psoas, working into the right hip extensors. Front knee stays on top of the ankle. And here there is a tendency to begin to dip into the low back. This is something that I do quite a lot. So tuck the tailbone, low belly in, chest up. Legs active, squeezing your glutes. You may even begin to feel the muscles getting a little bit fatigued here, but this is a good thing. We know that they're working. Okay, lower the hands. Extend the front leg forwards and send the hips back so the hips are on top of the back knee. Front foot is flexed, so the front leg is active. 5 to 10 breaths here. Keeping the upper back very long. And slowly begin to fold forwards, thinking about bringing belly to the thigh. Keeping the chest lifting away. So imagining that you're trying to bring all of the lower body towards the upper thigh. And then working your fold from the hinge of the hip. Wonderful. Slowly come up, bend the front knee. Edge the foot to the left side. Knee is on top of the ankle. Hands to the mat. Lift the back knee and begin to find those little rocking movements forwards and backwards. Just generating a little bit of heat around the hips. Glutes are actively switching on. And then keeping the back knee up as you find stillness or lowering the back knee. Staying up on the hands or working progressively towards coming down to the forearms. 5 to 10 breaths here. Amazing. Slowly come up. Bring the left foot towards the middle of the mat. Keep the knee bent. Lift the back knee. Extend the front leg and flex the front foot. Squeezing the inner thighs together for a little bit of stability, but also to keep the hips square. Front foot is flexed, so the front leg is really working here. And then you can start with the chest parallel to the floor. And then over time, working progressively towards folding, thinking about lower belly towards upper thigh. This is also great for strengthening the legs. At the same time, working on hamstring flexibility. 5 to 10 breaths here. Working towards your end range. Wonderful. Then bend the front knee, lower the back knee. Edge the front foot forwards. Flex the foot, so just in the same position as before. And then tuck your back to lift your back knee. So you're already in the split here. And then just like last time, getting comfortable here. Slowly edging the back foot down the mat. Hips staying square. Edge the front foot forwards. And with control, finding your way down. Keeping the feet active. Left hip slightly back, right hip slightly forwards. 5 to 10 breaths in your splits as you're just getting comfortable. And then over time, you may hold much longer. But it's just something to aim for at the beginning. And then to come out using the fingertips. Lift the back leg, bend the knee, bend the front knee. Find low lunge. And then swing the left leg all the way back and come to sit down. I hope that this has given you a lot of ideas of how you can incorporate these simple stretches into your everyday routines. Whether it's yoga or whether it's just a goal that you've got to work towards your splits, here are a couple of ways how. I hope that this helps, and I would love to hear your feedback, so please leave a message in the comments below. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your teacher and your guide.